Welcome to Flip Your Lid with Kim Honeycutt. Kim is a psychotherapist and executive director of icuTalks, a mental health speaking ministry. This is a podcast about how to flip your lid and learning how to reconnect to who you really are.
Well, hey, everybody. Thank you for being a part of Flip Your Lid. We have a very special guest today. I'm really honored to hang out with him. However, I first need to tell you about my special co-host. Hi, my beautiful wife, Larissa.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, she's joining. She's co-hosting today.
Yes. I didn't want to miss an opportunity to be here for this guest.
Yeah, there's something about him that y'all have in common. There's something, some little artist, creative thing, something. Yeah. So she's fangirling a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah. So just to let y'all know, we have David Hayward with us. He is the NakedPastor. So, Hey, David, welcome.
Hello.
Hi. Thank you for having me. Glad to be here. Nice to meet you both.
Yeah, thank you. It's such an honor.
I should inform everybody that I'm fully dressed. So,
well, I was thinking that myself. So I appreciate this would be the wrong crowd to waste being naked in. So
right.
It wouldn't get you very far. So this is a good place to be clothed. Absolutely.
So true. Yeah, we just want to thank you so much. I know whenever I was deconstructing and going through my, reconciling my sexuality with my faith, like I found your Instagram channel and I was just immediately drawn to it. And as Kim mentioned, I have an artsy side. I paint and dabble in art myself. And so it really just grabbed me. So I just want to thank you for putting that out there. Like your work is helping and
it's
it really
so
helped me. Yeah.
It's so healing. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, there are a few people that have been instrumental without them knowing in our coming out process and the rejection we went through. And you're definitely one of those key pivotal people for us. So thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, I'm happy.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's awesome. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So, a guaranteed question today is coming at you right now. And that is, David, tell us what flipped your lid and what measures did you have to take to reconnect to who you really are?
Oh man, I have so many stories where my lid's been flipped. But the first thing that really came to my mind was I was a student in the ministry, and I was an assistant at a big Presbyterian church here in Canada. And I grew up with art and music and all that, and here I was in the ministry and just totally cerebral. It felt like everything was so cerebral. And, I didn't know I wasn't happy. I was doing my work, doing my job as assistant pastor. Well, one night I had a dream, and without going into a whole bunch of detail, basically in the dream, somebody pulled a stained glass mask out of a trunk. And I heard the words, "It's Morpheus." And I woke up really thinking I was going to die. I was so terrified because this dream was so real to me, and I didn't know who Morpheus was.
Right. And
I was just absolutely terrified because I felt like I'd heard from the divine or something like that kind of impact on me. So I went to the local library, university library, and looked up who Morpheus was, and come to find out Morpheus is the Greek god of dreams. And that started me down a whole path of like Jungian psychology and dream interpretation. And that was a major turning point in my life, and all because of a little dream. So, and then I've had other dreams in my life that have had that same kind of an impact, but dreams have played a pretty major role in my life. But that's when you said, what's one of the first times, that's the first time I can remember where my life literally went off the rails.
Wow.
And I had to figure out a way to be myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Is that what sparked the Naked Pastor? Like, when did that begin as far as your cartooning?
Well, no, Naked Pastor didn't come till a long time later. So this Morpheus dream happened in probably around 85. And then I started blogging in 2005. Okay. So 20 years later.
Wow. Yeah.
And I named my blog Naked Pastor because I wanted people to see the real life of a pastor without any adornment. I wanted to sort of pull back the curtain and let people see what the ministry and being a pastor was really like. So that's why I called it Naked Pastor.
Yeah, just to kind of bring in Jungian and the dream and what you just said about the naked pastor. You know, like in psychology, in world psychology, like having your armor on is what we work on dismantling. Is not wearing your armor. We wear our armor as a protective shield because there's untreated and unresolved trauma. And so to know in the world of Christianity, we teach people each day to put on your armor. And that's part of the draw to you as saying like you're the naked pastor. And so I'm just curious about what's been the most interesting and entertaining comment someone has made to you about what they think the naked pastor, the name title naked pastor means.
Well, you can imagine. I mean, people are like, naked pastor, gross. How gross, but I'm like, come on, like use your imagination. What do you think I mean when I say naked pastor? And they're like, maybe you're being honest or open or whatever. There you go.
How about that? There's a concept.
But I mean, if you Googled naked pastor in 2 words, you're going to see things you can't unsee.
True. Good point. Good point for all those.
Don't Google it. Just go to Instagram.
I don't know. Maybe you're into that kind of thing. I don't know. But naked pastor, 1 word, and that's me.
That's good. That's a good distinction.
Yeah. So don't Google 2 words.
Right.
Unless you want to.
So when you first started blogging with the Naked Pastor, and then when did the cartooning and when did all that take place?
Yeah. So I was writing in my blog and I would share paintings and things like that once in a while. But I really like a good cartoon. And I was following a guy who drew cartoons. And I thought, why don't I try to draw a cartoon and see what happens? So I drew a cartoon and put it up. And I started getting traffic and more and more traffic. So I challenged myself to draw a cartoon every day until I ran out of ideas. I thought I'd last a month. But here I am 17 years later, still drawing cartoons pretty much every day. Wow. And it's just stuck. I think people, to see one of my cartoons, it's 1 second, right? Whereas you don't have to read 1,000 words or whatever. And I just love the speed and the impact that they have. Yeah. So I've just kept doing it. Plus it's fun, Yeah. I mean, it's fun for me.
It's fun for us too.
So which of because I know all of them are impactful in some way, right? Like they're gonna go towards whoever the audience is that needs to receive the message, right? But which one of your drawings do you feel like has been the most impact on you?
Some of my more popular ones, like I have one called Eraser, which shows a bunch of people with fat pencils drawing lines in the ground.
Yeah.
And it shows Jesus with his fat pencil upside down and he's erasing the lines.
Ooh, that's good.
And I love that cartoon, and a lot of other people love that cartoon because it sort of conveys my idea that we're united at a deep and fundamental level. And even though we keep trying to divide ourselves into camps and tribes and ideas and denominations and theologies and all this kind of thing, at a deep and fundamental level, I believe we are one and united. And it's just our thoughts that seem to divide us, but we're one. We're united. So I like that cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
It conveys that thought, and a lot of people love it too, because it's kind of shows Jesus in a subversive, kind of a naughty boy kind of a image, and I kind of like that.
Yeah. So how'd you get there? How'd you get there to a place that, as far as I know, you're not marginalized, and yet you have such a heart for those of us who are? What was your life experience that you were able to see someone like me and know that you and I are still equal?
Right. So I'm white, I'm male, I'm straight, I'm cisgendered, I'm married with kids, and I'm just your typical white guy. And but I experienced a lot of shaming and guilt and rebuke and everything growing up. In the family somewhat, but also in the church and everything, and other places, because I think my primary drive is for me to be personally free to be my authentic self.
That's right.
And so I was constantly wanting to be my most authentic self, but constantly being corrected or rebuked or limited or warned or threatened, all these things my whole life, even as an adult, as a pastor and everything. I was constantly being reminded or being told about how I should behave and what I should believe. And so this constant urge that I have to be my most authentic self was constantly being frightened, and I would hide it. I was afraid to be totally myself for fear of rejection and shame and guilt and punishment and all this kind of thing, rejection. And it just, now that's just for me to be myself.
Right. Absolutely.
If there was another layer of that, like that I was gay or trans or something, then it would have multiplied. The intensity of it would have multiplied.
Yeah.
But I think I have empathy for people who want to be their authentic selves and can't or are afraid to, whether they're like strange or unorthodox or heretical or gay or trans or, whatever it is. Everybody's afraid in some way or another to come out.
That's a commonality. Yes.
They need to come out.
Yeah.
And so mine was just for me and my personality to be able to be free. So I sympathize and empathize with a lot of people out there who they just want to be who they are. They want to be gay. They want to be, whatever. And that the everything around them tries to keep them in the closet. So, I'm not just referring to gender
it's all people,
orientation or anything. I'm talking about any way. So I think people who have felt that should empathize with people who are going through that.
Yeah. And you were a pastor formerly. So were there any like theological things that you had to work through to get to the point that you are now, to be so affirming and accepting? What was that like?
Loaded question, right?
That like?
I've always believed the same thing my whole life.
Well, many have, sadly, David. Many have.
No, true. I was at this church quite a while back. It was a Baptist church, and it was time for people to give their testimonies. And this guy said, I believed as a child, and I'm still going to believe as a child. This was an old fellow, and he was like, and I will never change my beliefs. And I've believed the exact same thing ever since I was a child, you know?
Yeah.
And I thought, something kind of tragic about that.
There's something tragic.
Here's another lid flipping episode.
Yeah.
And this happened in 2009. So I am because I was really had this passion for personal authenticity and freedom, I was constantly like meditating and thinking and writing in my journal and reading and researching and like trying to figure out what the truth was. So, I went through Anglican and Baptist and Pentecostal and United and you name it. I call myself my own ecumenical movement because I've been everywhere. I went to the Catholic Church for a while. Yeah. I had a Catholic spiritual director. I had a Buddhist monk, mentoring me. I was just searching for the truth. And I was in theological anguish because I could not reconcile all the pieces. It's like I had a 1,000-piece puzzle set and it was just all white, let's say. And I couldn't figure out how to put it all together. I had all the pieces. And I just kept searching and searching and searching. So part of my value system is I valued everything that I had been taught. I value my roots, let's say.
Yeah.
But I don't let them limit me either. So how do I value my roots, but appear to be growing in a totally different place?
That's so good.
And I couldn't reconcile all this together. And I was a Bible student. I was headed towards being a New Testament biblical scholar, but that got derailed. I ended up in the ministry instead. But I was very serious about the Bible. Took Greek and Hebrew, Aramaic, all the languages, theological French, theological German, everything. And I was just searching and trying to figure this all out. And how does, how can God just be the God of the Christians, but what about the Jews? And then what about the other, Abrahamic faith, the Muslims, and what about the Buddhists, and what about the Hindus, and what about, the atheists, and all these wonderful people that I know and who believe totally different than me. And I couldn't reconcile it all together.
Yeah.
And then in 2009, I just had a moment. I can't really explain it, but I just saw a picture without going into a whole lot of detail. And I just saw the oneness of all things. And before anybody asks, no, I wasn't on mushrooms or acid or anything. I just saw the oneness of all things. It was an incredible experience. It only lasted a moment. But I saw that we were all connected and that we're all one. And all these things that seem to divide us are just words and thoughts. But they're not substantial. We're still connected. Right. Even other mystics and philosophy and quantum physics and everything are sort of pointing to the same kind of idea that everything's connected. And I all of a sudden the puzzles all came together. It was amazing. And my theological anguish just evaporated and has never come back. That was 13 years ago.
Beautiful.
That was 13 years ago. And that peace of mind has never left. And it's just, I just know we're all one, we're all connected. And, all these ideas and thoughts and everything that seem to divide us, that's all they are. They're just ideas. They're just thoughts. They're just words.
Yeah.
And that was a profound experience for me. And that's, I started naively sharing about my wonderful experience in my blog and everything like that. And it was a year later, I had to leave the ministry.
Oh, imagine.
You can do the math.
Right? Imagine that you have an original thought or find your own peace. And
finally free.
Yeah.
I'm not the first one to say that.
Right.
Right. Other people have said, Meister Eckhart or the Cloud of Unknowing or, Saint Therese of Lisieux, or tons of Christian mystics have seen and written the same thing. Mm-hmm. It's not new, but in the circles I traveled in, mm-hmm. it was pretty heretical. And the denomination I was a part of was starting to get letters of concern, and other churches around in the area were talking to my people in my church and saying, "What's happened to your pastor? He no longer believes in God, and God has lifted his hand of anointing off of him, and he's no longer called to the ministry. What are you going to do?"
Wow.
So we ended up having a meeting and agreed, that I could no longer keep going in the direction I was going in and stay. Mm-hmm. So I felt it was the perfect time for me to go, for my own personal well-being and also for the church's personal well-being.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And we had an amicable divorce.
Yeah.
And it was kind of amicable until it wasn't.
Yeah.
Until it wasn't. Yeah, I love that Scripture tells me to not look like I belong to this world. And the minute it looks like I don't belong to this world, then the Christian people are upset. Right. That's just right. And still, as a Christ follower, I still want to be clear I'm a Christ follower. But the idea of when something doesn't quite fit the level 1 puzzle that we can so neatly fit in, that people just become so uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. And their discomfort is with your comfort with your own, with their truth.
Yeah. Well, our heroes, all of us love our heroes after they're dead. Mm-hmm. While they're alive, they're very controversial. Mm-hmm. Sure. I mean, the story of Jesus in the Gospels, whether or not your listeners believe he was an historical person or what, this doesn't matter. I'm talking about the story that's conveyed in the Gospels. He died a very lonely man. Mm. Moses, he died a very lonely man. Mm-hmm. All these heroes that we love, Jeremiah, the prophet Jeremiah, died a very lonely man. So on. We could go on, where people we now tell others to be like, if we really were like any of those, we would be just as controversial as they were, right?
That's true.
So if we're going to be our authentic selves, everybody knows. I was just talking about this with somebody yesterday, actually, that imagine from the time you were born, you were surrounded by cheerleaders. Everybody, your parents, your siblings, your aunts, uncles, grandparents, your teachers, your classmates, everybody, all the way through. We're like, you go, we got you. We're going to support you 100%. Whatever you decide, we're behind you 100%. We love you. We believe in you. You have to be your authentic self, and we're here to support you. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine? We would. Then we would just have to face our own inner fears, right?
Right.
But we wouldn't have to fear being rejected and marginalized,
right?
And so on.
Yeah.
Which made me realize a lot of our hesitation in coming out is rejection. Mm-hmm. And the fear of being marginalized and shamed and embarrassed and humiliated and excluded.
Yeah.
And all those things. If we removed all those things, I think we'd have a far easier time changing and becoming our authentic selves and coming out as we truly are. Right. Mm-hmm. So, but the call to be authentic, it's kind of cool. It's kind of hip, it sounds like inspiring. Yes, let's be our authentic selves. But, you start seeing crosses and hammers and nails coming out after you when you dare to be yourself, even from people you thought loved you.
Mm-hmm. That's the absolute truth.
I know we can both relate to that as well as the ministry side, because both of us have been in ministry, but I was working for a major nonprofit for 16 years and, left before I came out because I knew that if I didn't, I'd probably lose my job, etc. So it's definitely that fear of rejection is real and definitely something I had to work through.
Well, and it happened. Like what we were in fear of happened, but what didn't happen was us rejecting ourselves.
Right.
Right. That's the difference, right? Yeah. And that's part of the attraction to your work. And I think that's what your work gives people permission to do, is to look at something differently and to connect. And as you said, like, we are wired for connection. We are all interconnected, and we are at our best when we're co-regulating, when we have a co-interaction with people. We are meant for that. And that is what your artwork does. It allows people to have a co-regulation with you through their artwork and themselves. It's absolutely beautiful.
So like, if we really are connected at a deep and fundamental level, maybe even a cellular level, that it's unnatural to push people away, or exclude them or marginalize them. It works against what's natural, you know.
It's true.
And it deprives us all of a fuller life. It's like, I did a cartoon today. It shows a gay sheep, a rainbow sheep, and a trans sheep knocking on a church door, and all the white sheep are inside, like looking out the window. They're not gonna let them in, right? They're all kind of peeking around the corner, looking out the window at them, and then the trans sheep says, "There seems to be no sign of life." And the point of the cartoon is, it's really true. When you exclude people, it robs you of a fuller life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even as parents, we have 3 kids. They're all grown, but we wanted them to be their most fullest selves, and to express themselves and be themselves, to be authentic and to be free. And I'm telling you, it caused a lot of chaos. But I feel our life is really, really full.
That's beautiful.
Rather than some parents I know, they're like, here's how you need to think and believe and act, or else we'll reject you.
Right. That's right.
And
very
this is how you need to be. And so kids, because they don't want to be rejected, will, measure up until either they leave home or they run away or whatever, or once they leave, they never come back. And so if you want to delegate everything to somebody, how you expect them to live, it's going to rob them of life and you of life and the community of life. Life is fuller with more diversity.
Yeah, I agree.
I really believe that the healthiest communities are diverse, very diverse.
I love that.
Yeah, I agree.
But I've also been at odds with the church most of my life, even though I've served it. And I believe the church is here to stay. I mean, it's been around for over 2,000 years. It's not going to go away. And people have the right to gather around agreed values or whatever, or to worship their God or whatever. And so it's here to stay, but can we please do it in a healthy manner? That's all I care. That's all. I don't care how you do it. I don't care if you have a building or not. I don't care if you have money or not. I don't care if you have incense or not, or holy water, or robes, or strobe lights, and ice for smoke and all. I don't care if you have all that stuff. To me, that's just style. But if people can gather and feel safe and grow and be their authentic selves and feel free, yeah, man, go at it. But that's rare.
Yeah, no, but you're speaking my language, because it's all about learning how to feel safe in connection. A lot of us grow up feeling safe in disconnection, right? We know how to be the conditioned self. And even you talking about the parts of self, right? We're all fragmented, and so we have different parts. So I'm curious, because I hear you being very emotionally and feeling led, and I also hear the ability to be in conflict. And for a lot of people, those can't coincide. They can't live adjacent to each other. And for you, it sounds like they can. So how do you handle people attacking you or attacking your art? And is it the same thing? If they attack your art, are they attacking you? How do you, as someone who sounds very emotional, also handle the conflict?
Well, it's a learning curve. On the one hand, some people might think I just have a thick skin and don't care, but I do care. Like, I don't like conflict.
Right.
I don't like conflict.
Right.
I don't like arguing. I don't argue. I want everybody to like me.
Right.
And, so learning how to hear criticism or hate or whatever, it was a learning curve, but excuse me, I figured it out. I think mostly that somebody who, I can tell the difference between somebody who just disagrees, but they're decent people, from somebody who is hateful and is kind of scary.
Yeah,
you can.
absolutely.
There's different. I can tell the difference. The first kind, who disagree but they're decent people, we might be able to have a conversation. We might be able to resolve something. You know what? Some of my best friends now used to be some of my worst enemies, but their minds were changed over time.
Yeah.
But people who are really mean and nasty and hateful, and even they sound like they could be violent, I delete their comments.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if they persist, I block them.
Yeah.
And I have no qualms about doing that at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. That's really helpful. And great role modeling for people as well.
You just, I have empathy for people who, like, they have to be really, really hurting to do that. But because they're disrupting a community,
right?
Bullies, if you let them, will take over.
Absolutely.
And so you just have to say, okay, that's not allowed here. And if you persist, then you have to leave. But I have a lot of empathy for a lot of these people. They must be really hurting to, I can't imagine going on somebody's Instagram and they're talking about something and me coming on and saying, you're out to lunch. Like, I don't agree with this at all, whatever. Like, who takes the time to disagree with somebody they've never met and try to correct that person? I can't imagine. I would never do that. I just scroll on.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of empathy. I care, something's going on in that person's head and heart for them to feel they have to say something, or even the head and heart of people who are hateful. Like, where's that coming from?
Yeah, absolutely.
And, but if so I have a lot of grace for that, or space for that. But if they're disrupting the community, then, you can't stay until you learn how to be a decent person around others. You have to create safe spaces, or as safe as it can be. Right. So that's one of the ways we do it. Yeah, it's like one of my value is everyone's included, except people who don't include everybody.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's good.
And so you're included.
Yeah.
But if you're going to start saying gays aren't going to heaven, then you're not included, because you're not including everybody.
Yeah, that's really
everybody's included.
Everybody's included.
That also means, like, you can't have on a white supremacist who hates people of color. Sorry. This just doesn't work. You're included. Right. But because you don't think everybody's included, you can't participate in this lovely community. So that's just the reality of the situation.
Yeah, that's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. Well, and part of that too is because, I can tell as a therapist usually who is disordered versus someone is curious. And people who are disordered actually get a level of enjoyment out of coming against somebody. Where majority of us, there's a certain level of there's a spirit check. Like it's not what we're setting out to do in the day. Like it's about inclusivity, and there are other people who really enjoy watching people unravel, and they don't have empathy, so they're not going to unravel. And so that's the line. And there's lots of places for them. Right. You're one of the few safe places for us. Like there's a lot of places they can go, and they will be honored. There's so few places that those of us who are marginalized can go and feel included, and so that's why what you just said is so powerful and valuable.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's why my Instagram account, I work really hard for. I try it everywhere, but especially Instagram. I work really hard at moderating the comments because somebody will come on and say, "Oh yeah, but don't you know Leviticus blah 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 blah
yeah.
blah blah."
Yeah, all the clobber passages. Yes, we know them.
Yes,
I'm like, sorry. We assume we're beyond argument here. We're beyond debate. We assume that everyone's included. It's okay to be gay. It's okay to be trans. It's okay to be whatever. And we're beyond arguing about it. If you need to argue about it and prove your point, there's other platforms to do that. But this place, we are living in like heaven, where everyone's included, and there's no longer any debate.
Yeah, that's right.
And there's no argument about it. We're just all loving one another and supporting one another. And you know what? It works. It really does work when you do that.
Yeah.
But, and they're saying, oh, you can't handle the truth, or, you're closed-minded. You say you include everybody, but you can't handle, a discussion or whatever. No, I'm in heaven here along with all these 114,000 people.
Right.
We're in heaven.
Yeah.
And you haven't made it here yet. That's all.
Yeah, that's right.
You just have to change your mind.
Right.
And, but, if it's going to take you arguing on other platforms and, whatever for you to do that, go knock yourself out. But we don't do that here.
Yeah. Because compassion is more
and that's a
important.
safe place.
Yeah.
That's right. That's a safe space where you don't have to keep proving yourself.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Compassion is more important than comprehension.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It's amazing. I love all of your artwork. This one's probably my favorite one. It's the one where the rainbow sheep is saying, I'd like to hang out with you. So now what do I got to do? Sit next to Jesus. And Jesus like, nothing. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah. Nothing. You don't got to do nothing.
Yeah. Nothing. That's right.
You know what? I get so much negative response for that cartoon.
Really?
I believe love is the answer.
Yeah.
That sounds so cheesy, but I mean it. Love conquers everything. Love is greater than debate and all that kind of stuff. Like love is like gravity. It's indiscriminate.
Yeah.
It just pulls everything in. It doesn't say, "Oh no, you're the wrong shape. I don't attract you."
Right.
Like gravity attracts everything. Doesn't matter what size it is. The sun shines on everything. The rain falls on everything, and that's what love is. It's not. It doesn't care in an obsessive kind of what's right, what's wrong kind of way. It doesn't care about the object of its love and affection. It just throws it out like a net. That's love. It just covers everything, catches everything.
Yeah.
And once you see that, then all your need to argue and debate and reason and all this kind of stuff goes away. Because all of a sudden everybody's in, nobody's out.
Yeah.
And it's really mind blowing when when the sheep says, "Hey, I want to hang out with you. What do I got to do?" Nothing. Yeah. That's the beauty of love. Yeah. Like that really is the beauty of love. And but people are like, well, then what did Jesus come for? But you're saying he wasted his time, and you don't have to live up to his standards or whatever. And I'm like, no, you don't got to do nothing. And it's that realization that, you mean I don't have to do anything? No. Yeah. That's a profound moment when you feel that, when you see that.
Yeah, right? And the conditions taken off. I know you're not just talking about gay people or trans, you're talking about people who have been divorced, who've been asked to leave churches because of that. Anybody, just like you talked about, anybody, we all have the same struggle, is how do we get to know that we matter? What do we have to remove from ourselves? What conditions have to go away to know that we actually matter, not just to ourselves and each other, but like you're worthy, deemed by God, like you matter, and you get to do nothing in that. And so many of us struggle to receive. But I hear some people using certain scripture as a weapon, like the clobber passages, but no one's talking about Romans 14. It's one of my favorite scriptures that's so clear to me that it's about everyone's invited to the table. And that if they're vegetarian, don't say anything to them. You can eat meat while they don't eat meat. And it says so clearly that if you're worried about them, don't you know God will take care of them? Don't you know if they're weak in the faith department that God will encourage them, he will meet them? And so it's interesting me when people use scripture as weapons, which I do not think is the point of scripture, but then no one says, but the scripture also says, we all are invited to the table, and while you're just loving on each other, God will show up. God's already there. Yeah, it's just interesting to me.
Yeah. So I have an online community called The Lasting Supper. And it's for people who just need a safe place to vent and deconstruct and, hang out. There's a couple hundred members there, but I came up with this analogy on how we do community. And basically just treat it like a potluck supper. Most people know what a potluck is because they've all been to church and we've all done potluck supper.
Right.
And it's like a potluck. Everybody brings something that they think is good.
Yeah.
And you just put it on the table. Either it's the, appetizers, or it's the main course, or it's dessert, or it's bread. And you just put it there. And then somebody, probably the pastor, prays the prayer, and then everybody lines up and gets what they want.
Yeah.
You go up and you take what you want, but you don't go along and say, who made this spinach casserole? Don't you know I don't like spinach? How dare you bring spinach, or whatever. You don't do that. You just, I don't like spinach. You quietly move on. Plus, the person who did make the spinach casserole doesn't get hurt that somebody doesn't take their spinach casserole, because some people just don't like spinach casserole. I don't even know if there is such a thing.
There is now.
There is now, everybody.
And so we treat community in the same way. When somebody posts something, if you don't agree with it, you don't have to say anything. Just scroll on by. And if you post something and somebody doesn't say anything, don't take it personal. It just wasn't for them, and it works. It just works. Like if you want community, there's things that work. And that's one of the things that works. And you know what? Modern group therapy has certain rules in place. And one of them is no cross-talking.
Right.
And that's where somebody is telling their story. Somebody can't say, well, wait a minute, you shouldn't think that way.
Right.
No cross-talking. Just let them share their story. And, because that's where the healing happens. The healing doesn't come from people correcting you and guiding you and advising you and, all this kind of stuff, blah, blah, blah. You've heard it all before.
Yeah.
What heals you is just that you're being heard.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like lancing your wound. It's very cathartic just to be heard without judgment and love and supported. It's transformative.
It is.
A lot of people haven't experienced that, right?
Right.
I have.
Yeah.
And it's transformative.
Absolutely.
Just to be heard and loved and supported without somebody trying to fix me.
Yeah. To be safely seen and heard so powerful.
Yeah.
You know, David, when you were speaking, I just saw this visualization of two lines, and one is Jesus standing there, and it just says to freely receive, and the other is someone standing there saying to earn, and everybody would be in the earning line. Like our struggle to freely receive, to know that we're worthy of that. Tell me I have to earn something, and I'll work for it. Right. But relationship with Jesus is free, and so part of us learning to receive is really storytelling. It's being able to tell our story, and for it to be received by people.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. Yeah, it's powerful, and I see it work. That's the thing. It's not a theory. It actually works. You know, we taught our children. They're all in their 30s now, 3 of them. And they're wonderful people. And we cultivated a kind of relationship where they could tell us anything and we would listen to them. We wanted to be their safe space because we had to make a decision early on. We want to stay in relationship, not be right all the time. So that was a choice. And so we chose to stay in relationship. And as a result, we're best friends with our kids who are all adults now. And, but, you know, to listen to them sometimes without interjecting or without judgment or whatever, like it's TMI sometimes, too much information, you know, whatever. But that's just how it works.
Yes, that's
right.
Great. Yeah.
And when you have that kind of openness and you know that you're going to be heard and that you're not going to be hurt and that you're safe, and that our love isn't going to diminish because of something you think or have done or whatever. Because love, that's just what love does, right? Like again, gravity, sun, rain, it just, it's just always there, constant. And I think if we can learn as communities, including churches, to exercise that kind of love and experiment with that kind of love, we would see really dynamic, transformative communities arise around, you know. Instead, we're seeing people fleeing from the church in droves because it's no longer considered a safe place. There are some out there, but it seems rare to find one. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, we have been lucky to find a safe church here, for sure.
Yeah, but we also run a ministry called icuTalks. I started it 8 years ago. And we're a mental health speaking ministry. We set it up so people can come in and share their story and have people hear it and receive it. And we do it intentionally that it's messy. It doesn't have to be that you're finished. It's just got to be, it's not like, I drank, I found Jesus, I'm okay. Everyone knows that testimony. You can go to any church and hear that. Like we set it up so that people are allowed to come in and for most of them, it's the first time they've ever shared their story because there's no other platform for them.
Yeah.
Right, because it's messy. We want it to be messy.
Yeah.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
Chaos.
Yeah.
But it's creative chaos.
It's creative, beautiful chaos because then people are allowed to come as they are. Right? Yeah. So I really love your Google Translate series.
Yeah.
Will you speak into that a little bit?
My first one was because I hear it from people all the time when they say, it's obvious you've never read the Bible. You need to read the Bible.
Sorry, that's great.
And I'm like, instead of me saying, look, I went to Bible college. I took 2 years of Greek and 1 year of Hebrew. I went to seminary and took more years of Greek, more years of Hebrew, a year of Aramaic, theological French, theological German, all studying the Bible to become a biblical scholar.
Wow.
And you're telling me I need to read my Bible?
Yeah.
And I can show you my Bibles that are underlined and colored coded and, written in the margins and all that kind of thing. So instead I did the cartoon where it says, you need to read the Bible basic and in Christianese, and the English translation is, and you need to read it the way I read it.
Yeah.
You need to read the Bible the way I read the Bible.
Right.
Same translation.
Believe the Bible the way I believe the Bible is basically what it says. I have another cartoon where it says, the Bible plus your interpretation equals your interpretation.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And
that's really good.
Until you come to grips with that truth, you're going to keep thinking that there's one way to understand the faith and the Bible and truth and everything.
That's so good.
Yeah. There's one here I have where you put in Christianese, I need to speak to you in love. And then over on the English, it says, I'm about to hurt you. That's the translation. I think we've all been there.
Times?
Yeah.
Yeah. How many times? I need to say something to you in love. I'm like, oh God.
Here we go. Here we go. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a sure sign of emotional aggression. Absolutely. Yeah. It's so good. So in a little different note, what does it mean to you to be Canadian?
I love Canada.
Yeah.
And I enjoy being Canadian. Now my wife I met in the States. She's from Alabama.
Okay.
So
Well,
that's a little different.
I could hardly even understand her speak when I first met her. But I didn't care because she was so beautiful. No. So being Canadian, I live in a beautiful country. The people are wonderful. We have socialized healthcare. There's a whole lot of perks. And up to recently, we've been really free of sort of the evangelical takeover of politics and everything.
Yeah.
Canada is known as a diverse country, multicultural, multi-religious, and it's inappropriate here to bring your beliefs into politics. It's just basic courtesy that you don't do that. And until Trump came along, that was pretty well honored. But Trump awakened an awful spirit around the world. And including in Canada, where there's people here who would love that same kind of dynamic happening here in Canada. But they're a minority, but they're loud.
Yeah.
And like bullies tend to be. And so I think we'll survive this. And I'm hoping, I don't know where you are, and I don't know where your listeners are on the spectrum, but I'm going to say that I hope within a year or two, it will be revealed for all the foolishness and danger that it was and still is in the world. This sort of patriot, nationalism, evangelical, right-wing fanaticism, Christian Taliban-ish kind of stuff. I hope it gets exposed for the idiocy and the danger that it is.
Yeah.
But as far as being Canadian, I'm out here on the East Coast and I live on a river and it's very peaceful and, which is kind of cool.
Did you draw the accent out of her? Pun intended on that.
Kind of, when she gets mad, you can hear it.
I love that. That is so
when
good.
she's talking to her family back in Alabama or something. Seriously, when I first met her parents, and when her brother's on the phone, I can't understand a word they're saying. It's amazing the diversity of the English language.
Yeah,
he's speaking English, but I don't understand what he's saying.
Yeah, it's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I hope we get to meet her one day. She sounds amazing. She's lived with you for all
incredible.
these years. She has to be incredible.
She's
right?
a saint.
Right. I love that. All right. So as we start to draw this up, we're going to put you in the hot seat. You know, I'm a therapist. We're just going to throw you in the hot seat. So it's got a few questions or lighthearted, just whatever comes to mind first. Give the answer. You want to take turns with this?
Sure.
Yeah. And I'll start.
Yeah.
We'll do the first one. All right. So what art piece, not your own, would you have tattooed on your body?
Wow. I don't have a tattoo. Do you all have tattoos?
No, we don't. But we're in the South, so it's rare.
You've got me stumped.
All right. How about who's your favorite artist other than yourself?
Well, right now I'm really interested in Ai Weiwei.
Okay.
He's a Chinese artist, and I just really appreciate his work. I just thought of something. When I was down, one of our sons lives in Boulder, Colorado. And my wife and I went down to visit him. And while we were there, we found out that there was a Banksy exhibit.
Oh, I love Banksy.
And he is a graffiti artist, like a street artist.
Yeah.
And a lot of people would recognize his work.
Yes.
One of them is of a guy with, he's got his face covered and everything, and he's throwing, and it looks like he'd be a stone thrower, like a Palestinian throwing stones at the Israeli army. But he's throwing flowers, and so I would consider getting a Banksy tattoo.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, that's good. I like
cool.
that.
What book are you reading right now? Any books that excite you right now?
I just finished the biography of Einstein by Isaacson. Really thick.
I bet it was.
That sounds like a thick one.
Yeah.
Fascinating. So I really now there's a guy, for example, who went against the flow.
Yeah, he did.
And constantly went against the flow.
Yeah.
But he came up with some amazing theories, and like the unified field and so on.
Yeah, that's good.
Relativity and etc. So I found that really fascinating read. I love reading biographies, so that was a good read.
That is great. All right, one word that summarizes who you are. And I know you're more complex and special than that. But just one word. What is that?
Real.
Yes.
Real.
Authentic, real. Yeah, very good.
I like that.
Yeah, that's good.
All right.
Want to do the last one?
Last one. What's on your nightstand right now?
I bought a Woo-Zoo fan.
That's great.
So I like fan blowing on me at night.
Yeah.
Do you?
Well, because of menopause, yes, David.
She does.
Yes. Thanks to hot flashes,
thank God
yes.
I don't have to deal with that.
Right, thank God. Yes.
But, I went to Costco recently, and there was this fan, and it looks really, really cool, really modern, like a little robot, and it's awesome.
That is great. I love
awesome
that.
fan.
Well, you know what else is awesome? What else is awesome is you. Thank you, David Hayward, the Naked Pastor. Thank you so much for being so authentic and
it's been
artwork.
Fun hanging out with you. Yeah, it's been fun hanging out with you. But let me mention my book though.
Yeah, please do, and tell people also how to stay in touch with you, what your Instagram handle is, and all the things.
Yeah. So my new book came out. Flip It Like This. This is my 10th book, but this is my best of cartoons. So I've drawn over 4,000 cartoons.
Wow.
Yeah.
They said, "Can you get it down to 125?" So I did my best. And there's 15 never before seen in here, but it just came out in July, and people are loving it. And you can put this on your bedside table.
Yes,
we will.
And wherever books are sold.
Yeah, and in my waiting room for all my patients to see. We're definitely going to do that. So Flip It Like This is your 10th book. It's your most recent book, and people finding you on Instagram, Facebook, all the places. Naked Pastor.
Yeah, one word.
Remember, one word, people. It is one word.
Naked Pastor.
Yeah.
And I'm everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. And whatever your wounds are that separated you from your true self, no matter what it is, that Naked Pastor's amazing artwork, watercolors, and the cartoons are just great pathways for healing. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And to all the Flip Your Lid audience, I know you've heard something today that's helped you reconnect to who you really are. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for listening to Flip Your Lid with Kim Honeycutt. Please subscribe, rate, and share. You can find Kim on Facebook or Instagram at kbhoneycutt. To get an autographed copy of Kim's book, visit butyourmotherlovesyou.com. Remember, no matter what, treat yourself well today.